Imagine a force that reaches out to every corner of the universe, impacting the tiniest speck of dust to the largest galaxy, a force so familiar yet so mysterious: gravity. We've grown up learning about it, yet there is so much more to discover. In today's segment, we are taking a deep dive into this enigmatic force, but with a new lens: the energy equation. Our discussion will revolve around a fascinating intersection: the intersection of gravity and our energy equation. This equation, as we have been exploring throughout this series, is a profound framework that integrates thoughts, consciousness, and emotional energies, symbolized as T, C, and E. Today, we're going to examine how these elements interplay with the concept of gravity. Prepare to embark on an exciting exploration as we journey through the intriguing landscapes where these two conceptual universes meet. What happens when we bring gravity into our energy equation conversation? How do thoughts, consciousness, and emotional energies interact with gravity? Are there hidden connections and deeper insights awaiting us? Let's find out together in this segment. So, what is gravity exactly? At its most basic, gravity is a force of attraction that exists between any two masses, any two bodies, any two particles. It is universal, reaching across the cosmos, and it governs the large-scale structures of the universe. Gravity is what holds our feet to the ground, what keeps the Earth in its orbit around the sun, and what drives the stars in their celestial dance across the night sky. Gravity shapes the universe at all scales, from the paths of galaxies to the formation of stars and planets. Without gravity, there would be no stable structures in the cosmos. Stars would not ignite to burn, planets would not form to harbor life, and the universe as we know it would simply not exist. However, gravity is also elusive. Despite its omnipresence and tremendous impact on the universe, it is the weakest of the fundamental forces in physics, and its true nature remains one of the biggest mysteries in science. In our journey today, we're taking this fundamental force, this cosmic architect, and bringing it into dialogue with our energy equation. A dialogue that will hopefully shed new light on both gravity and the intricate interplay of thoughts, consciousness, and emotional energies. Let's delve deeper. Traditionally, in the realm of physics, gravity is seen as one of the four fundamental forces of nature, alongside electromagnetism and the strong and weak nuclear forces. The understanding of gravity has evolved over the centuries, with two primary views shaping our perspective. The first comes from Sir Isaac Newton, who, in the 17th century, proposed that gravity is a force pulling together all matter. According to Newton's law of universal gravitation, every particle of matter in the universe attracts every other particle with a force that is directly proportional to the product of their masses and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. Fast forward to the early 20th century, and we have Albert Einstein's revolutionary theory of general relativity. Einstein proposed a radical reinterpretation of gravity. No longer was it a force transmitted through space. Instead, Einstein described gravity as a warping or curving of space-time itself caused by mass and energy. Yet despite these profound insights, gravity remains an enigma. It doesn't fit comfortably into the standard model of particle physics, and reconciling it with quantum mechanics, the theory that successfully describes the behavior of particles at the smallest scales, has been a formidable challenge. Our energy equation, however, offers a new perspective, a fresh lens through which to view gravity. This is where we step into uncharted territory, where thoughts, consciousness, and emotional energies enter the stage. Let's see where this journey takes us. While our understanding of gravity has deepened over centuries of scientific exploration, it remains one of the most mysterious forces in the universe. Its weak strength compared to the other fundamental forces, its integration into the quantum world, and its role in the vast, unobservable phenomena of the cosmos all serve as mind-bending puzzles waiting to be solved. One of the key challenges is what we call the problem of quantum gravity. As I mentioned earlier, the world of small particles, the quantum world, operates differently from the macroscopic world we experience daily. While general relativity beautifully explains gravity in the larger universe, it breaks down at the quantum level. And so far, gravity has stubbornly resisted a successful merger into the quantum realm. It's like trying to fit a round peg in a square hole. Then we have the challenge of dark matter and dark energy. These are two invisible entities that, despite being unseen and undetected directly, make up about 95% of the universe. Dark matter's gravitational effects are needed to explain the rotation of galaxies, while dark energy is hypothesized to drive the accelerating expansion of the universe. Yet, their exact nature and their interplay with gravity remain tantalizingly elusive. Moreover, we are faced with the enigma of black holes, regions in space where gravity is so strong that nothing, not even light, can escape. Their existence pushes our understanding of gravity to the limit and continues to throw up perplexing questions. Now, what if we could address these challenges and mysteries from a completely different perspective? The energy equation, by incorporating non-traditional elements like thoughts, consciousness, and emotional energies, provides just such a novel outlook. This is the path we embark upon today. As we delve deeper into the mysteries of gravity, we find that our current theories, despite their brilliance, still leave a significant amount of unanswered questions. For instance, consider the problem of singularity. Our equations predict that at the center of a black hole, gravity becomes infinite, which is referred to as a singularity. Now, the idea of infinite gravity is mind-boggling and problematic. It suggests that our understanding, our mathematics, breaks down under such extreme conditions. What does infinite gravity even mean? And how does it relate to the fabric of the universe? We simply don't have the answers yet. Furthermore, why does gravity only pull and never push? It's a fundamental question that may sound simple, but the answer eludes our current understanding of physics. Other forces have both attractive and repulsive components, but gravity, it seems, is the exception. Additionally, we have the so-called hierarchy problem or fine-tuning problem. Simply put, why is gravity so much weaker than the other fundamental forces like electromagnetism? For example, consider a small magnet lifting a paperclip against the entire Earth's gravity. How is it that gravity, which holds galaxies together, can be overwhelmed so easily on a small scale? Our current theories struggle to explain this discrepancy. All these questions and more remind us that gravity, despite its pervasive presence in our everyday life, is not as straightforward as it may seem. And it is these unanswered questions that we hope to explore with the energy equation. As we dive into the energy equation, we find an intriguing interaction with gravity that holds the potential to illuminate the unresolved mysteries we've just discussed. The summation of thoughts, consciousness, and emotional energies, each multiplied by their corresponding constants alpha, beta, and gamma. Here, thoughts, consciousness, and emotional energies are not just metaphorical constructs, but quantifiable entities as proposed by our theory. The inclusion of these components in the energy equation opens the door to a new perspective on gravity. Traditionally, we've understood gravity as a force between masses. The more mass an object has, the greater its gravitational pull. But what if gravity is not just about physical mass? Suppose we consider the energy components in the energy equation as having a gravitational charge of their own, influencing the gravity field just as mass does. This fundamentally changes the way we view gravity. Instead of merely a force between masses, gravity could also be a force influenced by thoughts, consciousness, and emotional energies. This is a radical departure from our traditional understanding of gravity. Yet, it may provide the foundation to address the unresolved questions in gravitational physics. Does this mean that our thoughts, consciousness, and emotional energies have a gravity of their own? Or perhaps they modify how physical mass interacts gravitationally? These are the intriguing possibilities we'll explore in our journey through the energy equation and gravity. The true novelty of our approach lies in the second half of the equation. Here we introduce the components AT, BC, and GE, where T stands for thoughts, C for consciousness, and E for emotional energies, with alpha, beta, and gamma representing corresponding constants. This is where our energy equation diverges from the traditional understanding and acknowledges the energy embedded in our thoughts, consciousness, and emotional energies. Now, how do these components interact with gravity? Consider the conventional wisdom. Gravity is a force that acts between masses. But in our energy equation, we propose that thoughts, consciousness, and emotional energies, although not mass in the traditional sense, could influence the gravitational field. If this is true, it suggests that these non-physical entities carry a form of gravitational charge, influencing how objects move and behave within a gravity field. This is a radical idea indeed, and one that leads us to consider a whole new world of possibilities. The potential implications are enormous. If our thoughts, consciousness, and emotional energies can affect gravity, we might need to reconsider our understanding of the universe. As we delve further into the energy equation, it becomes clear that we're in uncharted territory, exploring the vast intersections of physics, psychology, and philosophy. Our revised energy equation could potentially offer new insights into the understanding of gravity, an area ripe for revelation. Think about it. The conventional view treats gravity as a physical phenomenon, a force acting solely between masses. But our energy equation introduces a different perspective, suggesting that non-physical entities, our thoughts, consciousness, and emotional energies, could also play a role in gravity. This, of course, poses many intriguing questions. Can the energy from our thoughts, consciousness, and emotions influence the gravitational field? If so, how significantly? Can this relationship be quantified? Can it be manipulated? The answers to these questions could redefine our understanding of gravity and, by extension, the universe itself. This concept also challenges us to reconsider what we classify as energy. If we allow for the energy of thoughts, consciousness, and emotional energies to interact with gravity, we open the door for a broader and more comprehensive understanding of energy itself. This could potentially bridge the gap between the physical and metaphysical, between the seen and unseen, between the quantifiable and the experiential. As we navigate the intricate web of these ideas in the next segments, we hope to shed some light on these inquiries and deepen our collective understanding of gravity and its mysteries. While we don't claim to have all the answers, we do believe that asking these questions is a crucial step towards expanding our understanding of the universe. This force, so integral to our existence, has been traditionally thought of as something purely physical. But what if we dared to think outside of that box? What if we dared to introduce non-physical elements into the equation, namely our thoughts, consciousness, and emotional energies? This is precisely what the energy equation asks us to do. In our formula, it suggests that these non-physical entities could have an energetic impact, one that interacts with gravity in ways we're just beginning to explore. For instance, consider the thoughts component. Thoughts, although non-physical, have a distinct energy signature. This energy is palpable and influences the physical world around us in numerous ways. So, could this energy also interact with gravity? Could our thoughts, in a sense, hold gravitational weight? Similarly, our consciousness, the state of being aware, has its own energy. It's something we don't fully understand yet, but it's there, permeating our existence. Could this conscious energy also play a part in the gravitational interplay? Lastly, our emotional energies, those strong, often overwhelming forces that guide so much of our behavior, how might they figure into the gravity equation? Can the energy of love, fear, joy, or sadness influence gravity, either minutely or significantly? The possibilities these questions open up are both exciting and a little daunting. But it's through asking these questions and daring to explore that we can hope to gain new insights into the mysteries of gravity and, in turn, the mysteries of our interconnected universe. Could it be that gravity represents the physical side of the coin, influencing and being influenced by mass and space-time, while electromagnetism represents the non-physical side, interacting more with our thoughts, consciousness, and emotional energies? This is a question we are only beginning to ask. As we continue this exploration, we keep our minds open to the possibilities, knowing that our understanding of the universe and of ourselves is constantly evolving and expanding. Now that we've introduced the concept of gravity and electromagnetism as two sides of the same coin, let's dive into specific scenarios where the energy equation could provide additional insights. Consider for a moment a black hole, a region of space-time exhibiting gravitational acceleration so strong that nothing, no particles or even electromagnetic radiation such as light, can escape from it. What happens to the information or consciousness that is pulled into a black hole? Could our energy equation shed some light on this phenomenon? We believe it might, as the equation takes into account not only mass and energy, but also thoughts, consciousness, and emotional energies. Another area of interest might be quantum entanglement. In quantum physics, entangled particles remain connected so that actions performed on one affect the other, no matter the distance between them. This phenomenon may involve the non-physical components of our energy equation. Could it be that thoughts, consciousness, and emotions are able to interact at a distance in a similar way, perhaps even influencing the entanglement process? Or let's consider cosmological phenomena like the accelerating expansion of the universe. Could the acceleration be driven, at least in part, by the non-physical components in our energy equation? These are just some of the scenarios where our energy equation could offer fresh perspectives and deeper understanding. By factoring in the components of thoughts, consciousness, and emotional energies, we hope to bring a more holistic view to these complex phenomena and potentially unlock new insights into the mysteries of our universe. To truly appreciate the potential of our energy equation, let's look at some concrete examples of how it may apply to real-world gravitational phenomena. Consider the phenomenon of gravitational lensing, where light from distant galaxies is bent around a massive object, like a cluster of galaxies. This creates a lensing effect, magnifying and distorting the image of the galaxy behind it. Now, if we extend this concept by introducing our energy equation, we can explore how the non-physical components like thoughts, T, consciousness, C, and emotional energies, E, might interact with this process. Could these non-physical components also be lensed, affected by the mass and energy in their path? Another fascinating concept is that of gravitational waves, ripples in the fabric of space-time caused by cataclysmic events, such as the merging of two black holes. Scientists have been able to detect these waves and confirm key predictions of Einstein's theory of general relativity. But with our energy equation in hand, we could ask, are these events causing waves not just in physical matter and energy, but in thoughts, consciousness, and emotional energies as well? And finally, let's consider the simple example of a person standing on Earth. According to our traditional understanding, gravity is what keeps us firmly on the ground. But with our energy equation, we could consider the influence of non-physical components on this experience. Could the thoughts, consciousness, and emotional energies of the person also play a role in this gravitational interaction? These are complex ideas, and our exploration is only beginning. But we hope that by considering these examples, you can start to see the exciting possibilities that the energy equation opens up. And as we continue to explore and refine the energy equation, we're opening up entirely new avenues for future research into gravity. There's incredible potential here. Consider, for instance, the implications for our study of quantum gravity, a theory that attempts to reconcile the macro world of general relativity with the micro world of quantum mechanics. So far, this has remained one of the biggest unsolved problems in theoretical physics. But could our energy equation, with its inclusion of non-physical components, provide the missing piece of the puzzle? Then, think about the mysteries of dark matter and dark energy. These elusive entities make up around 95% of the universe, yet we still know so little about them. Could it be that some of the answers lie within our energy equation? Could thoughts, consciousness, and emotional energies offer a fresh perspective on these cosmic conundrums? The possibilities extend beyond physics, too. In the field of psychology, for instance, we could explore how gravity affects our thoughts, consciousness, and emotional energies, and vice versa. There's a whole universe of interconnected phenomena waiting to be discovered. And while all of this is exciting and full of promise, it's important to remember that this is a journey. Science is a process of exploration and discovery. We're on the frontier of a new understanding of the universe, and we invite you to join us on this fascinating journey. Now let's take a step back from the scientific perspective and peer into the profound philosophical implications this equation might have. First, by including thoughts, consciousness, and emotional energies in our equation, we are acknowledging the significant role our minds and experiences play in our universe. This is a bold step toward blurring the lines between the physical and metaphysical, the tangible and intangible, bringing a new depth to our understanding of existence. Furthermore, by linking these non-physical components with gravity, we hint at the possibility that our inner world might have more impact on the physical universe than we've previously thought. Imagine this: our thoughts, consciousness, and emotions potentially having a gravitational pull, an effect on our reality. What does this say about the power of our minds? What responsibilities do we bear as conscious beings? And there's another philosophical layer here: the universality of gravity. It's a force that applies to all objects, regardless of their properties. In the same vein, the energy equation suggests that our thoughts, consciousness, and emotional energies are also universal, connecting us all. This could imply a deep-seated interconnectedness, binding not just galaxies and celestial bodies, but all beings within the cosmos. By marrying the worlds of physics and philosophy, the energy equation creates a fusion of the seen and unseen, the external and internal. It prompts us to question, to ponder, and to explore the deepest mysteries of existence and our place within the cosmos. As we delve further into the implications of incorporating thoughts, consciousness, and emotional energies into our understanding of gravity, we find ourselves standing on the precipice of a new frontier. In traditional physics, gravity is a physical force that pulls objects with mass towards each other. It's an integral part of our understanding of the universe, governing everything from the fall of an apple to the orbits of planets. Yet, until now, our understanding of gravity has been purely physical, tied to matter and energy. By introducing thoughts, consciousness, and emotional energies into the mix, we are suggesting a more holistic understanding of gravity, one that not only encompasses the physical, but also embraces the metaphysical. The energy equation suggests that these non-physical forms of energy could also interact with gravity, implying that our internal states might have an external gravitational effect. What does this mean? It could suggest that our thoughts and emotions are not just internal, private experiences, but also external, universal forces that can shape the world around us. They could influence not just our personal lives, but also the very structure of the universe. In terms of consciousness, it implies that our awareness of ourselves and the universe could be a fundamental force, on par with gravity. This poses fascinating questions about the nature of reality, the interaction between subjective experience and objective phenomena, and the potential interconnectedness of all things. By taking this multidimensional approach to gravity, we are not just expanding our understanding of the universe. We are also shifting the lens through which we view our place within it. We are suggesting that we are not merely passive observers in the universe, subject to the whims of physical forces, but active participants, shaping reality with our thoughts, emotions, and consciousness. As we continue to explore this expanded conception of gravity, it also demands us to reevaluate our understanding of reality. The implication that our thoughts, consciousness, and emotional energies can influence gravity signifies a significant shift in our perception of the universe and our role within it. Traditionally, we've been inclined to separate the physical universe from our subjective experiences. Matter and energy have been seen as the basic building blocks of the universe, and our subjective experiences were thought to be separate, existing merely as the byproduct of physical interactions in our brains. However, by introducing these non-physical elements into the energy equation, we are suggesting that they might not be as separate as we've traditionally thought. we are hinting at the possibility that our subjective experiences might be fundamental parts of the universe, just like matter and energy. What does this mean for our understanding of reality? Firstly, it blurs the line between the subjective and the objective. It suggests that the universe is not just an external objective reality, but a complex interplay of subjective experiences and objective phenomena. Secondly, it introduces a form of interconnectedness. If our thoughts and emotions can influence gravity, they could potentially have effects beyond our bodies, linking us with the rest of the universe in profound and mysterious ways. Lastly, it implies a sense of responsibility. If our internal states can shape the universe, we carry a form of cosmic influence. This places an importance on our personal development, emotional intelligence, and consciousness expansion. In essence, our expanded understanding of gravity via the energy equation paints a picture of a deeply interconnected and co-creative universe, where each one of us plays an integral part. It's a humbling yet empowering perspective, opening up a world of potential for further exploration and understanding. The enriched perception of reality offered by this revolutionary equation introduces a paradigm shift. By weaving the threads of thought, consciousness, and emotional energy into the fabric of reality, we're not only altering our perception of what constitutes reality, but we're also expanding the realm of possibilities in terms of what we can influence and co-create. Imagine if, rather than being passive observers in a universe governed by external physical laws, we're participatory co-creators, actively shaping our reality through our thoughts, consciousness, and emotional states. This fundamentally shifts our position from that of insignificance to an empowered place of co-creation within the universe. Consider the implications this has on how we approach life. Suddenly, our mental health, our emotional states, our conscious thoughts and experiences aren't just elements of personal well-being. They become factors that can influence the very nature of the universe itself. The energy equation encourages us to look within, to explore the realms of our own minds and hearts, and to understand their true potential. Moreover, if our thoughts, consciousness, and emotions can interact with gravity, it suggests an interconnectedness that spans beyond our physical bodies. We start to see ourselves not as isolated entities, but as nodes in a vast cosmic network, with our inner states resonating across this network. This recognition can bring about a profound sense of unity, love, and empathy for all beings. In sum, by acknowledging the interaction between gravity and the non-physical elements in the energy equation, our perception of reality transforms from a physical, deterministic world to a co-creative, interconnected, and holistic universe. As we come to the end of this enlightening episode, let's revisit some of the key points we've covered. We've delved into the revolutionary energy equation, examining its relationship with the well-known force of gravity. Our discussions highlighted the potential this relationship holds to offer fresh insights into the mysteries of gravity. We also explored how incorporating thoughts, consciousness, and emotional energies into our understanding of gravity could transform our perception of reality. In this new perception, we're not mere observers, but active co-creators in a universe that is more interconnected than we've ever imagined. In our next episode, we'll delve deeper into a fascinating aspect of our energy equation, the role of RL flow. We'll look into how RL flow contributes to and influences the equation and the implications of this for our understanding of the universe. So, make sure you don't miss it. Before we close, we want to remind you to subscribe and turn on notifications so that you won't miss any updates on our series. Your support and participation in this journey of exploration are invaluable to us. Thank you so much for your time and attention. We are eager to continue this fascinating journey together, exploring the fascinating implications of the energy equation. Until the next episode, remember, you are a fundamental part of this interconnected universe, and your thoughts, consciousness, and emotions have an incredible potential to shape reality.